Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, the Kerch Bridge, the Crimean Bridge, will be destroyed again. Why? Because the Ukrainians say so. So, I wonder how they will do it. Nevertheless, they claim again that they will destroy the Kerch Bridge. If you don't remember, I will remind you. The Ukrainians said the same thing last year in February. In February, they said by mid of the year, by June, the Kerch Bridge will be destroyed. So I think we are in overtime, big time. So that's the first one. How will the Ukrainians be successful in destroying the Kerch Bridge and why? That's the first issue here. The second one, Ukraine loses access to United States as not only the intelligence, the satellites, but to the commercial satellites as well. What's going on over here? I think this is the way of making those guys come here, sit down and listen. So let's start with the first topic, which is the Ukrainian naval commander right here, Ukrainska Pravda, Saturday, March 8th, Ukrainian naval commander announces new strike on Crimean Bridge. God loves a trinity. Wow, okay, well, good for you. So they want to destroy it again. Why I say again? This is an old video of mine and it's titled, "This is when Ukraine will destroy the Kerch Crimean Bridge. Ukraine Navy commander discloses again." And this was published on February 6th, 2024. All right, so they said by mid of the year, it's gonna be done. So let's see what these guys are saying again, and if they have the capability. Oleksiy Nezispapa, commander of the naval forces of the Ukraine Armed Forces, has said that Ukraine is actively discussing a third strike on the Crimean Bridge, and he has expressed his optimism that it will be destroyed. All right, the newspaper mentioned that Nezispapa said he was optimistic that Kiev will be able to destroy the Crimean Kerch Bridge built by Russia to connect its territory with that of occupied Crimea. So this guy noted that the two previous strikes had damaged the road and rail structure, so Russian troops could no longer transport heavy wagons across the railway bridge. And they destroyed, I think, they killed some civilians, right, Ukrainska Pravda? If I remember correctly. Yes, they did. So thanks for the information. Nezispapa also described the war with Ukraine as a technological race dominated by drones. He said that Moscow has developed pretty effective methods to counter naval drone raids. Ukraine in turn has turned to drones into fast-moving attack platforms. Nezispapa said that engineers have added anti-aircraft guns to shoot down helicopters and FPVs drones. All right, he says here, for reference, Russia, which occupied the Ukrainian peninsula of Crimea in 2014, occupied through a referendum made by the people, and then the annexation was joining through a referendum. If you say yes, then I would like to remind you Kosovo. If you don't know, you say, what Kosovo? There was no referendum over there. Kosovo was snatched from Serbia. In my books, okay? And it was voted by the Kosovarian parliament into being independent. It's recognized by about 104 countries sometimes on the planet. I remind you that there are 193, sometimes 194 countries on this planet. So Kosovo was taken from Serbia with the intervention of the defensive alliance of NATO, who bombarded Yugoslavia in 1999 for about 74 days. And they destroyed personal houses, hospitals, bridges, and so on. Why? Because that's what they do. All right? They're better than everybody else. Let's go back here. So that's how the Crimean Peninsula was taken from the Ukrainians. All right? But anyway, you go with your narrative. I tell you the facts. Here. Subsequently, illegally built a bridge across the Kerch Strait. I think it's the longest in Europe, if I remember correctly. Even longer than the Swedes built. The Crimean Bridge has two crossings, car and rail, connecting Crimea and with Russia. Ukraine has repeatedly emphasized the illegality of this crossing and stated that it is a legitimate target for the armed forces. by extrapolation, cities are, a legitimate target for attacks. Why? The citizens, the civilians are helping the war effort of the Russian military. Therefore, they build clothes, they build weapons, they bottle waters, all the water that was gonna go to the evil Russian military. So therefore, and then you can go, if the adults are doing this, the next generation, we have to take care of that. So the next generation will not grow, hate us, and build the same war machine. So let's go after those, the next generation. You know what I mean? By that, and that was explained and argued, the way I argued it, by an American commander in Yugoslavia. American commander said exactly what I said. Yeah, we're going to hit civilian infrastructure, and we're going to hit bridges, and we're going to hit this, because they are supporting Milosevic's war machine. That's it. Any questions? Yeah, I don't care. That's how they dealt with it. So again, I wouldn't hit it. That's my thing. If I'm going to take over Crimea, again, that's a good piece of infrastructure that they build it for me. But since I'm not going to get Crimea, I'm going to try to destroy that. So that's the first one. I'm going to show you the map, so kind of know where that is all about. So this is the map of Ukraine. This is Crimea. Here's the Black Sea. The Kerch Bridge is exactly here. I'm going to show you. Makes the connection between the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. Here is the city of Kerch, and here is the bridge. This is what these guys try to destroy. I claim that it could be destroyed by flooding the Russians' air defenses. That is the easiest way to do it. Not with drones, submarine drones and all that. The Russians already put all kind of ships blocking it, and I don't think that's going to be how they're going to do it. They can do it this way. They're going to send about, I don't know, let's say 80 drones. Some of them decoys, just to pop. Some of them with load of explosives, and then we'll send about 15 missiles, Storm Shadow missiles, Scalp, the French, the British one, with some Neptunes, and they will flood it. So they will start first with the drones, and then behind them is going to be the missiles, and the missiles will be the ones that are going to have the bridge collapse, not the drones. The drones will just, if they're successful, going to hit here and there. Remember, you have a number of ammunition. You're flooded. You can block, like someone punches. You have 2 arms. That's all you got. So you block, pump, you switch, you go back, forth. But that's you got. It's a finite method of defense. It's a finite. Now, if you hit over here, 5 hands, 5 arms in the same time, you have 2 arms. You're gonna take something. You take 1 Neptune, or you take 1 Storm Shadow in the right position, or 2 of them, it's all over. So take the missile drones. You flood these guys. They have this limited air defense capabilities. If these guys send it fast and big load, I have no doubt that bridge will be affected. You see, I have to find euphemisms. Let's go to these guys in Russia Today, and they say Kiev invokes God in threat against Crimean Bridge. Moscow has responded with a proverb and other religion references. When we get to this point, that means, as I told you, we're just veneer, my friends. We're the same knuckle draggers, primitive individuals pretending that we are somehow civilized. Ukraine loses access to US commercial satellites and intel. So I don't know how these guys were going to manage their missiles. They're not going to be a HIMARS. It's going to be a Storm Shadow, a Scalp. That's why they wanted the Neptune, the Taurus, the German Taurus, because it has a longer range. That's all. Nothing. But you have to flood their defenses first. Ukraine loses access to US commercial satellites. Well, these guys wanted to make them do what they wanted them to do. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency has suspended the service at President Donald Trump's behest. The U.S. National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, has stopped providing Ukraine with satellite imagery paid by Washington. Several media outlets have reported, citing a statement by the agency. The decision was made in line with President Donald Trump's directive on support to Ukraine. It said, the move follows Washington's recent freeze of further weapons deliveries and intelligence sharing with Kiev, which in turn come on the heels of last Friday's altercation between Ukraine and President So, on Friday, the Washington Post, ABC News, and several other media outlets, citing a statement from the agency itself that the NGA has temporarily suspended Ukrainian access to commercial satellite imagery purchased by the US government. So that means they have to so they're not going to be the US purchasing the imagery. It's going to be the Ukrainians purchasing with the US money. Okay, I got it. The other baboons. The NGA is a unit with the Department of Defense. All right, there it is, my friends. The same day, if you want, Maxar, a leading US provider of commercial satellite imagery, issued a statement confirming that the US government has temporarily suspended Ukrainian accounts. They will work through the English, the British accounts, and French accounts, or the German accounts. They will work through someone else. The Germans will take it and give it to these guys. So it's up to the Americans if they're okay with that or not, or they will suspend the other guys' access as well. The point is, they will try to hit it. It's going to be if they hit it, and I think if they try, they will be successful, no offense. If they will do that, it's not going to have any meaningful, I would say, not even a dent in the military transfer of troops or military hardware into the Crimean Peninsula or in Kherson. I don't think so whatsoever. It helps. It's going to disrupt the civilians that these guys want to liberate, the Ukrainians, but they don't care about that one. So it's just it's going to be we did it, it gave you a little flick. Okay. That's all what's going to be. They will try. Remember, they're already in overtime. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.